the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast coming to you from a snowy One More and I'm Out of Here studios. We're here. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Carroll. And we're going to get to this a little bit later. But the man sitting to my right
What'd I do?
is, according to our local paper record, a purveyor of false information.
Oh, give me a break.
So we will square that later in the podcast.
No, what is it? Misinformation,
False information.
I have my sources.
Information that's not real.
I didn't have to issue a correction. She did.
No, I mean, you.
But she has not done that yet, though, which is the
you terrorize people on social media. Apparently,
she did issue a.
I saw for somebody else's, not yours.
Oh no, not mine. She hasn't done mine. She won't do mine. By the way, why am I cut off here? I'm really not happy about this. I'm like my microphone's cut off.
But we want to give you a weather update according to someone who sounds a lot like the Commander-in-Chief.
Which is absolutely amazing.
That's pretty good.
This is your favorite meteorologist reporting live from the snowstorm. It's very cold. It's colder than the average Somali IQ. It's very cold, very low temperatures. You know, their IQs are very low, but the temperatures are lower than that, which means it's very cold. You have big, beautiful flakes falling from the sky, fat flakes. It looks like Chris Christie falling out of the sky, but we get along very well with the snow. In a few hours, we're expecting ice. You love ice. We all love ice. Except when it gets on the power lines. Then we want to abolish ice. But we hope the power stays on, and we hope you stay warm. You don't like it when your temperatures get lower than the Somali IQ. It's very hard to get that low, but it's very low. So the flakes are huge. The flakes are huge. The flakes are fat.
I like how it says huge, Y-U-G.
But it's a big, beautiful snowstorm, and we made a tremendous deal with Mother Nature. And she's doing a fantastic job with that storm. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
That guy's on it, man. That's funny.
I've seen him before. When you said that to me,
funny.
I was like, he looked familiar. And then when I heard him, I'm like, oh, yeah, I follow him on TikTok. He's funny as shit.
That's pretty funny.
But going with the...
like Chris Christie, fella, from this guy.
But going with the weather, Jill Billy 007 sent this to me, and it's actually pretty funny. She wanted to hear Dan's sultry voice. Read some of these. There's a meteorologist, Jonathan Condor from Oklahoma, and he said, God bless our Oklahoma plow drivers. Here's some names, and he named all their trucks. So they have the districts. So it's kind of funny.
So what do we got? We've got Plowbunga, Salty Susie. In District 2, we've got...
Little Snow
Oh,
Peep,
Lil Snow Peep. All right. We got Holy Plow, Snowy McSnowface. I love that one.
How about Sled Zeppelin?
Sled Zeppelin's very cool.
Not bad.
We got Plowman,
Plowing
Plowosaurus Rex. Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to read these off the TV up there. It's kind of far
Well,
away.
I have a computer right next to you.
Well, I know, but then I got to lean over here and I can't get on the mic.
Cleopatra.
That's not bad.
I thought that was clever.
That's pretty
clever.
good.
Snowby Gone Kenobi. I'm a Star Wars nerd, so I like that one.
Sleetwood Mac. Very clever.
Working Snover Time. Whoever
So they have these names painted on the side of their truck?
No, he named them all.
Oh, okay.
He just named them all, though. Darth Blader, Plownado, Ain't No Snow in Oklahoma.
Really? How often does it snow in Oklahoma?
Not
It
too
can't be
often.
that often, I would imagine.
Did you see the photographs?
Betty Whiteout.
And then Betty Whiteout.
Did you see the
big Snowbowski.
That's awesome. Did you see
It was pretty good.
You see any video from Texas down south? I know Tennessee got clobbered with trees, but no, the problem is they don't have the most of those southern cities and states don't have salt trucks and plows, so they can't, and giant overpasses. If you ever been down there, you were down there. Jason was down that way,
Mm-hmm.
and the overpasses just turned to sheets of ice. So yeah, it's pretty dangerous. But let me ask you this: you guys live near here. We're over here at the studios. Did I think the township did a a relatively good job with the streets. Would you concur?
Yeah. Actually, I was impressed because normally, like, our side streets take a while because we've got a bunch of major arteries, veins, whatever you want to call them, going through the township. And I know a friend of mine who's a friend of the show, Rex, Sexy Rexy. He used to work for the township.
Okay,
and he kind of gave me the rundown as to how they pre-plan logistically what they're hitting first and where they're going. But our side street actually was last night. I was shocked, like, how clear it was. So here, I mean, I drove from downtown yesterday, like right around noonish. I guess afternoon if you're going to, because I know Andrew's going to fucking bust my balls about it.
never.
But I was the only vehicle on 471 and 275, and it was absolutely amazing.
Being the only one out there? Yeah,
But-
it's kind of surreal.
But it was bad.
It's fun though.
If you didn't have
The
if you didn't
rules.
have 4-wheel drive though, you were fucked.
Well, I mean, look, I have to giggle when I see people. They're like, "Oh, it's okay, I got front wheel drive." I'm like, "Well, that's great. You won't fishtail, but you certainly aren't going to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere." But no, listen, I want to see. I know that we live right next to Cincinnati, so it's always like here's somebody posted on Facebook 2 streets, one in Anderson, one in the city, and you could see the difference.
It's totally different.
What I'd like to see is how the mayor here has caught a lot of crap about his last snow response. So I want to see how much grace the people of Cincinnati do give him during this snowmageddon. And it wasn't. I mean, forgive me. I don't think it was as bad as they forecast. I thought we were supposed to get like a foot to 18 inches, and I think we got less than a foot. You guys,
I think we were right at like 11 and a half inches.
Okay.
I mean, it's close, but
It's close
and
enough.
for Cincinnati, it's close. I mean, you're used to going up north.
Well, it's a
and
lot
dealing
of
with
snow.
that
Yeah,
shit.
it was a lot of snow, and I will say that at some point after the first plowing, and then I went back inside and it started to snow again, I had some expletives to say. But other than that, it was good. Thankfully, listen, it hit us on a Sunday. A lot of people did go into work. If they went in late, or if at all. So, it could have been a lot more disruptive. Midweek is always worse. So I don't know. Are the kids going to go back to school, or are there no protests?
They're off tomorrow again.
So there's no protests planned. They're not going to walk out of class. I just
Apparently.
want to know what the rules are. If they're not in school, do they walk out of class? Dan, can you help me out here?
You got to walk out to your.
I'm
to your
not sure.
mailbox.
How does that work?
How does what work?
Well, I mean, is there a protest scheduled if they're not in school? So if they're not in school, since they really won't be taking up my tax dollars, can they protest then, or no? They can only protest when my tax dollars pay to keep them in school.
Oh yeah, because
It
you
seems
don't
to
have
me-
kids in the school.
Oh yeah. That's
'Cause
I
you
wanna
don't have
touch-
kids
You know
in
what?
the school.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because there's this prick, and I'm not going to mention his name, nor will I mention his comical little Facebook page. But you heard what I said on social media. I was like, so the liberals' attitude is this: if you don't have kids in the school, you don't get to comment what happens in schools. You have no business commenting what happens in school. And I'm like, well, that's fair, but then give me a refund on all the taxes that I paid for the kids that I don't have in school. I have an equal say.
No, you're not getting your tax money.
Well, that's my point. But there is this liberal logic. Well, you don't have children in the school, so you can't. Well, then give me my fucking tax dollars back. If I pay taxes, that gives me a right to have an opinion on how those dollars are spent and wasted. If during the school day, your little crumb crunchers that your mom put up to have this protest, okay, because your mom's a rabble rouser as well, and the apple didn't fall far from the tree, because let's face it, your dating prospects are pretty slim and none. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to sit there now and use school time to have a protest when you should be learning. And then I hear what a great school system we have, and the school kind of, to be totally fair, the school didn't really crack down on it. They kind of went along with it and gave them, kind of like, oh, well, it's okay, and we'll have it on property. I don't care that you're having a protest. If it's after hours, I don't care what it is.
Well, that's the point right there that I was going to make right there. When the school board said, when we had a school board that was trying to act in a responsible way, they said, look, you want to have this protest, you want to use the school after school hours, you want to use school
do
property,
whatever
we're
you want.
fine with that.
Do whatever you want.
There wasn't a whole lot of enthusiasm for these events to take place outside of school hours.
Well, because that would
You
be
might have
too
noticed
easy.
that.
Well, here's the deal.
Yeah.
It's easier.
The kids
when-
weren't as enthusiastic.
Well, you know
at
why?
that time.
Because also a lot of teachers were helping them and
Yeah.
supporting them. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
cool when the teacher's like, "Yeah, you want to leave class? Fuck it, I don't care."
When they wanted to celebrate critical race theory
It's
and
what we-
all the
it's what we
DEI
call
stuff. And
Hashtag pushing an agenda.
Yes. So here's the deal. I want to be on record here. It's not that I've never said that I should have more of an opinion than someone else because I pay more taxes. I never said that. That's what this troll, this miscreant, this slob is saying on his Facebook page, that I'm saying because I pay more taxes. That's not what I'm saying. And no one I know says that. What I'm saying is I have an equal right to
Sure you
my
do.
opinion on how the schools spend their money because my tax dollars support the schools. Just because I don't have children in those schools doesn't mean I have less of a right, unless you give me a waiver and say, you know what, we don't like your opinion. You don't have kids in the schools. Tell you what, don't pay taxes. We'll let your property taxes slide on the schools. What do you think that chances are? Dan?
I'm with you. Send me back that portion of my taxes
And I'll shut my
that goes to schools, and I will
Right.
never say
I
another
will
word
never
You
say
could-
another
you could
word.
do
about
whatever
what
you
goes
want.
on in
Never
any of the
say
schools
another
in Forest Hill School District.
But because some people have, what word would I use here? I want to be very careful. Some people breed more than others. That means what? They have more of a right to have an opinion on what happens in school because they may have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids in the school. I mean, that makes no sense.
no, it
Does that
doesn't.
make sense to you?
I don't know.
Not at
They
all.
want to act as if their opinion on things carries more weight.
You know,
than
my-
someone
that's
else's.
my. I remember.
don't
I
think
remember
that
one
necessarily
school board
does.
meeting when one mouth breather was up there. That's my kid. That's my kid. So that's my kid. Well, I'm sorry, your kid's a failure. Not my problem. Not my fault.
Maybe you should do better.
Maybe you should have thought more before you had a kid. But whatever. It's okay. I'm done. People don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm sorry. I just get a little pissed off when people sit there and they twist things that are said by either me or someone I know, because my attitude is, look, if you pay taxes on whatever, if your tax dollars support the schools, whatever, the township, whatever it is, you're allowed to have an opinion on that.
You
whether
have a say.
You have a say.
I completely agree with you, Andrew.
You have a
When
say.
I saw that, I kind of giggled because I knew what your reaction was going to be.
No, just fuck
But
you.
I'm way away from you, and I see it, and I was like, oh fuck,
That's not going to go over well.
that's not the itch you want to scratch there.
No, it's fine. But, you know, look, I've never said, and nor should it be, that the more expensive properties have more of a say in schools. Look, you pay what you pay based on what your house is worth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, if you
Okay.
go into that realm, then you're going back into like fucking
Right.
monarchy type
Yeah,
shit.
like you know, you got to be a landowner to vote or blah 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 blah. That's
Right.
I'm not saying that. That never
Right.
was my intention, nor did I even come close to saying it. But because they can't argue the point that, well, you know what, he's got to say, it makes sense because he does pay taxes, he's allowed to have an opinion. They twist the words into something else, and then you know their other mouth breathers go along with, yeah, that's right, I can't say that because they're fucking stupid. There, I'm done.
No, it's
Sorry, Dan.
no. You bring up a very good point, and that's local here, but
That's local here.
it's
but
happening everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It is happening fucking everywhere. And it's it's one of those things you start getting into those arguments.
I don't get in arguments. I
Oh.
just saw they're fucking
Well,
stupid.
arguments or postings. We'll just call them postings.
A lot of postings going
A
on.
lot of postings.
And
Well, let's face it.
I'm not somebody's favorite on a couple of the pages around here.
Well, let's face it. Yesterday was a long
Quit
day.
leaning that way.
But I'm just saying.
Quit
I'm
ghetto
talking-
leading.
Look, I'm listening to you. I'm Detroit driving. Let me tell you. Yesterday was a long day, and at some point there was enough not on TV that I was like, screw it, I'm going on social media. Wasn't it a long day yesterday, Dan?
I had a long day.
It was a long day.
Yeah.
You did have a long day.
What is this crazy driver you're watching?
I don't know. Just flipping through some videos on it.
So I hope everyone
Just like-
listen. Our show is widely watched. I hope everyone had a safe day yesterday. I hope you didn't get stuck in traffic. I hope you had power because a lot of people had intermittent power with the trees down, especially south of us.
Thank
Nashville,
God we didn't get the ice here.
we did not get the ice.
Yeah,
here.
it
that
all
was
stayed
my
south
biggest
of us.
worry. That was my biggest concern.
I feel sorry for those folks. A lot of homes in Nashville
Hurt.
without power.
Without power,
Big trees coming down.
big trees, big
Down
wood,
there.
a lot of big wood,
Huge. They were huge.
huge. And then let's get to before we get into others. So, what, Super Bowl? Anybody got a preference here?
I'm as much as I don't want to do it,
You're going with New England.
I'm going with New England only because Jill is in the finals for a blind Super Bowl draw. So I'm rooting for her to win some money. I would like to see Seattle do it.
Dan?
I think it's going to be. I said I think a couple of months ago. I think New England's going to go all the way. I just look at the way they're playing. The quarterback is destined for greatness. That they love their coach.
Yeah, their head coach Variable is fucking.
He's hitting all the right buttons, and I just think New England is on a roll. They can't be stopped.
Well, we have 2 weeks to ponder it because they're going to stretch it out for 2 weeks.
I'll tell you what I won't be watching is the halftime show.
You and me both.
Yeah.
There are alternatives online, but I will not be watching Snow Bunny. What's his name?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny in his dress.
Yeah. Now he said he's going to wear a dress to pay homage to all the is it Puerto Rican or where the fuck is he from?
I think it's Puerto Rican.
All the Puerto Rican trans icons.
Oh god.
I can't name any off the top of my head. I'm not going to try.
Am I missing something?
I guess that it's some important historical reference that he feels the need to.
Definitely outside my purview.
What the fuck is wrong with the NFL?
I have no idea.
I mean, do they really need to reach out to the Hispanic community that bad?
Well, the Hispanic trans community.
They're gonna and look, I dialed up. Did we read some of his lyrics?
Yes,
when he first came on.
We did.
Is he's gonna sing in Spanish? Is he gonna be dropping the F-bomb? What's the F-bomb in Spanish?
Chinga.
Yeah, chinga. Yeah,
chinga.
So is he going to be
always chinga to madre?
Chinga to
fuck your mother?
Yeah,
and right. is he gonna be dropping the F-bomb in Spanish on national TV?
Si.
Is that not frowned upon? Are we fine with that?
Yeah, are we allowed?
And a couple of the songs I read, I pulled up some of his lyrics. I could not read the words on the air over the radio because that would have put the license in jeopardy.
That's right.
But I mean, this is some of the most horrific stuff that you could say to a woman. And so this guy who's obviously, I mean, you want to talk about misogyny. This guy obviously treats women in the worst sort of way. And we're supposed to celebrate this at the halftime of the Super Bowl thanks to the NFL. Are you kidding me?
You know what? There's people,
fucking ridiculous.
There are people that will look at you and me and people that feel the same way and Jason and say, you guys need to expand your horizon. I had people tell me, they said the same thing about Elvis Presley. Okay. I'm sorry. I think there's a line. Elvis swiveled his hips and gyrated his Johnson maybe a little too much for the 1950s crowd. But I think we're past that line, don't you? With Bad Bunny and his bullshit.
I think we should be. I mean, we definitely should be.
And I'll tell you this.
Elvis Presley never said F the cops. I mean, he never he talked about, hoes and bitches and, doing stuff to your boyfriend and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
don't you find that
I find it amusing hearing Dan Carroll go hoes and bitches.
Hoes and bitches. Bitches and hoes.
But no, we should be way past that.
But don't you find that entertainers that lack in skill have to resort to what he's resorting to? That if you don't have skill and you don't have talent, you just have to be as audacious and extravagant as possible to make up for your lack of skill. And I think that's a pretty fair statement.
Well, when I go through like my Apple Music, and you get the ads for like the newest stuff that's been released, Bad Bunny doesn't hit my algorithm. Obviously,
you're not a Bad Bunny guy.
I couldn't.
You couldn't name one of his songs.
I couldn't pick one song out of a fucking lineup, right?
Probably not.
But the NFL sees it. Somebody, obviously, there's a lot of people that like him, but
the Puerto Rican trans community.
Well, apparently, definitely,
which is going to.
But he wouldn't have been called up to do it. But it's like you have to look at it like, what are you doing, NFL?
I don't know.
And it's all money driven.
Yeah, I don't know.
Apple, I'm sure they're getting a shit ton of money from Apple because he blew up on Apple, and that's where he's getting his base. But yeah, I couldn't pick a song out of that fucking lineup. So it's like, look at who you're entertaining to.
I mean, we're 2 weeks away from the Super. They've got time to walk away from this.
They're not going to.
I'm saying they could. That's all I'm saying.
They talked about it. They talked about it 4 months ago, and fucking Goodell put his heels in the dirt and said, "Nope, this is what we're doing."
As I mentioned before, maybe I did a prior show, and I can't remember what game it was. I think it was a Detroit game, but I could be wrong. They had Snoop Dogg at the halftime show, and I think I asked you guys if you watched it.
It was the Super Bowl the Bengals were in.
No. This was a game this season.
Oh, yeah.
This was a game
Like
this season.
his extra show that he did.
Yes.
Yes.
And that was one of the most, listen, and to be totally fair, might shock the viewers. I'm not Snoop Dogg's demographic, shockingly. But I will tell you this. It was one of the, and it was Snoop Dogg and a few others.
Yeah, it was like
Snoop Dogg,
16 minutes long on Netflix.
and Andre Bocelli.
Yep.
Was on there.
And his dad.
And his dad,
or his son, I mean.
And a few others were on there. I can't, forgive me, I don't remember. And it was one of the most entertaining halftime performances I've ever seen.
That was good.
And why the NFL feels like either their product sucks, and maybe it's that. Maybe the product sucks so bad that they have to be, like I just said, for a performer to have to go when he doesn't have content, he goes the other direction and is ostentatious. Maybe the NFL is doing the same thing. Maybe their content sucks so bad.
Yeah, and Joe just put in Lainey Wilson was in there too. So you had all different genres.
Everybody. And it was a really, really well done and great at halftime. But I'm with Dan on this one. I will watch, and let's be fair. I mean, I'll probably watch the commercials. I want to see, and they're not as good as they used to be.
Oh, fuck no.
So it's been a while since the commercials have been really good. So I'll probably watch the commercials, and then that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time when there used to be just one great commercial after another. Now, if you get
one
out of the entire Super Bowl, if you get one or two or three, that's about all you can hope for.
And then I'll get pissed off when I see the and I'm sorry, I've gone on too much about this, but when I see the commercial from He Gets Us, mischaracterizing Jesus and everything else and saying, Jesus was a refugee too.
Oh, for God's
that's
sake.
not true, but whatever. So anyway, there's our sports talk. Boom, we're off it.
But yeah, I mean, but it's all current events. It's all current events.
It is current event shit.
We got bigger current events.
You know what else is current events?
Yeah, you know why Joseph and Mary were on their way to Bethlehem?
Dan, it is not Religion 101, but I do know that they were ordered to go return for the census, and they were returning to Joseph's hometown.
They were on their way to pay their taxes.
So they weren't escaping. Yeah. They were not escaping.
They weren't refugees.
No, they had to check in with ICE.
Yeah,
they
weren't they weren't homeless.
What was ICE called back then? I mean, I want to know.
They weren't.
We were with the Judeo-Christian. What is it? That's that Monty Python with the Judeo People's Front.
Joseph was a carpenter. He worked for a living.
Yes. So anyhow,
he did some work.
But speaking of ICE, got a lot of stuff going on with ICE. Minnesota's front and center. I did see some reports that maybe Tim Walz talked to Donald Trump today, but
I did hear that.
As part of our public service, I think we should probably do a public service of what not to do during a protest. And what at the top of that list? I don't know if you got it queued up here, Jason.
No, I don't yet, but I will.
So at the top of my list, let me ask Dan. Dan, if you're at a protest, what is at the top of your list of probably what not to do?
Try to find
if I'm going to a protest, probably be armed.
Well, no. But besides, we'll take that off the table for a second because we're going to talk about that at length, probably. But let's say that you're at a protest and they're trying to disperse the crowd.
Well, the other thing that I would not do is I would not get in between a law enforcement officer and that officer making an arrest.
Okay, and if they had a device that had the tendency to blow up or explode, would you necessarily try to grab said advice and throw it back at the police?
Yeah, stay away from the munitions.
So what happens?
Generally speaking, that's a good thing.
And to be fair, it was a non-lethal device.
It was not. Yes, not to his hand, her hand, its hand,
but a non-lethal device that they were discharging.
Can we watch this
a
couple times?
We can.
Let's watch this. I want you to enjoy.
All right, give us a little play-by-play. What's happening here?
Mother.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
This person should be up for the Academy Award. Count to 10. I heard helps if you put some ice on that.
So for the audio listeners,
that was Bill Clinton's advice, wasn't it?
A protester in quotes was injured after being hit in the hand by less than lethal munitions during clashes with federal agents in Minneapolis. Meanwhile, she's running around towards the camera, slam on
Oh
her
my
rocks,
God.
falls down, and then all the other do-gooders come and help her because they're gonna. What are they gonna do? They're just gonna lay on her for a second. She
Oh my
flings her
God.
gas mask, by the way.
Oh my
you know
God.
what it was? It actually was not as described
Oh my God.
initially from that post. But turns out she had picked up a flashbang to throw it back at the cops. And guess what happens with flashbangs?
They go
Before
bang.
they go flash.
They go bang.
It should be called bank flashers.
Yeah, they go bang. It's weird.
So her hand, sadly, I heard that she might have lost a finger, which puts her in the same company of the ICE agent that had his finger fucking bitten off by a protester.
Right to the first knuckle.
Yeah, it's gone.
Do you see the picture of it?
Yeah, I did. It was gone.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, I've been in fights.
So it has some strong teeth to be
So-
able to
so
bite
it's-
through a finger.
But now that ICE agent now has a guaranteed shocker for the rest of his life.
Got a shock.
Guaranteed shocker.
It's just, I mean, what is with these people?
But here's the thing, and this is we're gonna dive in. I don't have a ton of video. I didn't pull any of the video of the actual shooting
Okay.
because I figure we can just talk about it.
Yeah.
But it comes down to those things. We say it all the time on this show. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes, right? So you go to
That's a
pick up
saying.
a flashbang and try to throw it back.
Boom.
Not even paying attention to how long that thing's already, the pin's been pulled, right? It's stupid anyway.
I'm going to show them.
Even if it was a smoke bomb, those things get hot as fuck. You're going to burn your hand.
Yeah, they do get hot.
So
We had video of that.
So that's fucking stupid. But you're sitting there and you feel the need to have to intervene when, and I don't know this individual's, situations, but you feel the need to intervene when it has nothing to fucking do with you, which will lead us into like the big fucking news over the goddamn weekend where there's another shooting. Now I have some thoughts, not my thoughts, but from text messages that I've gotten from law enforcement people that when we get into that conversation that I'll bring up. But this idiot, I don't feel fucking bad for you whatsoever. Why would you pick up a canister, run away from it? Because that's what you're supposed to do. And that's what their job is. That's where they felt they were threatened. That's the non-lethal force. Get away. Let us do our fucking job. And it pushes you out. You decide to intervene with that. Guess what? If you lost a hand, that sucks. You lost a finger. Okay, that sucks too. But guess what? You brought it on your fucking self. Because you could have been somewhere else.
Play stupid games.
You could have been somewhere else. And it's just, and I see all of this shit all over social media. And I'm going to lose friends over this. And I know that. Like, I already know that. I've already been told via text message. And I'm losing some friends over my thoughts on how ICE in Minneapolis, my thoughts on it. I don't care. Because guess what? If it was happening here, I would like to see any one of these people that are saying, especially in our local area, that want to talk big shit. Let that shit happen in Beachmont. Let me see if you're going to be out there in the front lines, literally doing it. Because I make the joke where I grew up in the city of Montgomery. I called it the Velvet Ghetto. That was always just a big joke.
The mean streets.
We live in a soft fucking township. Everyone wants to fucking be keyboard warriors and fucking talk, but would you legitimately go out there? You may protest on a street corner, but would you go out there and legitimately push against law enforcement? No, there is not. Maybe
I see a few because they've been
few.
The left has been so radicalized.
But it's every city you have. But these are big cities that we're talking about. We're talking about our little township, but people talk in this township like it's big fucking city. Fuck off. You're not going to do it. You're going to stay in the confines of your house until it's over. And they'd be like, oh my God, did the service department not clean the streets up?
Is my internet still on? So that's what they'll be worried about.
Exactly.
Still on. Look, regarding what happened in Minnesota, the guy getting shot, terrible. Let's just call it what it is. Somebody died. Anytime someone dies unnecessarily, it's a tragedy. I'll be right up front. I don't celebrate the guy's death. I will say I think he did several things wrong. I don't know why you take a loaded handgun to a protest.
Yeah, so getting into the shooting, yes.
Yeah. And I don't want to debate it. This is just my opinion on this. And I just say,
I'm going to tell you what some law enforcement officers told me.
Look, first of all, let's be fair. Everyone's looking at this video frame by frame, slow motion, after the fact, sitting in their warm, comfy house on their iPad or at their office. Okay, these officers, these ICE officers have been, and I've seen people saying, well, I'm in support of them, but they need more training. Listen, they've been harassed. They've been ridiculed. They've been deprived sleep. These people are just absolutely spent, weeks now harassing, chasing, interfering with they're not like these guys are just out, doing their job and this happens per chance. These people have been absolutely harried. And you expect these are people, these are human beings. So you expect 1,000% perfection from people that are operating under the most difficult circumstances that has been exacerbated by the left and seems to have been coordinated by not only Tim Walz, but other Democrats in Minnesota. We have that I forget what she is, that she was part of the Signal chat.
The assistant AG.
Yes. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I would say what my opinion is, those people bear a certain degree of culpability in what has happened here in Minnesota. I don't celebrate the man's death. He made some bad decisions. I'll put it to you this way. Dan, are you a concealed carry? Jason, are you concealed carry?
Yes.
Okay.
I am not.
First thing they teach you in class, you get pulled over, you put your hands on the wheel, you roll the window down, you tell the police officer, I'm a concealed carry permit, I have a weapon, it's in the car, it's in my glove box. Okay. Now, the police officer knows ahead of time when he pulls you over, flags your license plate, and he knows that you're a concealed carry holder. My point is that police operate under a lot of pressure, and it's not a perfect world. So bad things can happen when you introduce a gun into this situation. I don't know. I've heard reports. This is unsubstantiated, but I did hear reports that if you listen to the audio, there's one shot and then there's like 4 shots or something like that, multiple shots after that. I heard that model of gun has had a recall because of when you drop it or put it down, it can discharge accidentally, and they did have a recall out on it. That's what I've heard.
So
that's all I'm going to say about it.
But no, that goes with one of the messages, not directly to me, but in a group that I'm associated with who is full of police officers.
Okay.
Literally said, hey, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't want to quote him or say who it was, but was it a good shoot? Probably not, but was it murder? Absolutely not. And to your point, you have a split second to deal with what you're dealing with. They ended up making the shoot, and it's funny you brought it up because you're the first person I've talked to that had brought that up outside of this message
About the gun discharging?
Was about SIG and how they're having issues.
Yes. So
but I don't know. I'm with you. I'm not saying that's what happened, but this guy brought a loaded gun to a peaceful protest.
Two magazines.
Yeah.
2 loaded
extra
ammo. Loaded magazines. To a quote unquote peaceful protest.
And did not declare, because Minnesota state law, you have to declare that you are armed to a law enforcement agent.
Correct. I don't know. That's just Minnesota. It's just common sense.
But it is legit Minnesota law, and the guy actually posted what the statute was.
Got it.
He didn't do those things.
Right.
He made a bad fucking choice,
He
and
did.
unfortunately, he lost his life.
Correct.
But guess what? That ICE agent, even though whoever listened to this that hates us isn't going to think about that ICE agent killed somebody. He's going to have to fucking deal with that.
He's going to live with that the rest of his life. Rest of his life.
This is not fucking pleasant for anybody.
There's no evidence of him. I'm just.
But when you
wait. I'm responding to one of the stupid comments. There's no evidence. I'm just responding what's being reported. I'm sorry. I'm not making that up. The news reports are saying that he had 2 extra magazines. Unless you have a report, something different.
I've not heard anyone dispute that.
No, it hasn't been disputed as far as I've heard as well.
And let me say this. If he had one, he did have the gun and it was loaded. the extra magazines, I mean, is being reported, but you're saying there's no evidence. I'm just saying what's reported. Okay, take the magazines. The magazine. He had a loaded weapon on his person.
I don't care how many magazines you had.
So again, he obviously didn't follow protocol. I'm telling you, as someone that takes carrying a weapon pretty seriously, I will tell you. Where's the evidence? Again, you didn't hear me, so I'll talk slower. But again, police operate in a very, very difficult situation. So if I have my weapon and I'm near a police officer, interacting with a police officer, I want them to know that absolutely this is so funny. On any level, I want to put them at ease because I know the pressure that they're under.
Everybody celebrated KR, by the way. Everybody did.
I'm sorry, did Kyle Rittenhouse actually, when Kyle Rittenhouse approached the police, since you don't know, when Kyle Rittenhouse approached, when the police finally came up, what did he do? He put his hands
in the air.
And he said he didn't put his hand on his gun.
There's pictures
and he's
like
walking
this.
to all the police that I have my weapon. Okay, so if you're gonna get the facts, I'm waiting for you to say something about Epstein. You got to fit Epstein in because that's just your MO. You got your little checklist that you go down. So I'm just telling you, it's sad that the guy died. I am totally cool with the fact that it's a tragedy, and it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like his actions or what he chose to do, his decisions definitely helped lead to that poor outcome.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
And so the other part of this message was your training when you're trying to do crowd control plus execute a mission, whatever it may be, whether it's Cincinnati riots or Chicago riots, whatever. You usually have teams. The city cops aren't fucking helping because they're all fucking leaving. So there are no city cops to help throw a perimeter. And what happened. Mm-hmm. And the investigation will play out, and we'll see. I mean, do I think the shooting needed to happen? I don't know. I wasn't there. But it's not. I mean, again, it's a horrible fucking outcome because nobody fucking wants this. Just if these fucking libtards would just fucking go home,
right,
and let the ICE do their job, guess what? They'll be out of there.
I guess
they'll leave.
I guess the easiest way to say it is, you're agitating, you're getting in their face, you're confronting, you're prodding, and then something bad happens. You're like, look, they're bad. I'm like, what the fuck did you expect to happen? You're sitting there, you're creating the situation. You're actually trying to get a reaction to happen, and then you complain. Don't misunderstand me. It was terrible that he died, but I mean, you could see this coming a mile away, could you not?
Yeah. What I love also in the fact that they're painting this guy, he was a VA ICU nurse. Okay, cool. It doesn't matter. He could have been a fucking plumber.
I don't care if he was a priest.
It doesn't matter what he was doing.
Multiple things can be true at the same time.
He was working for the veterans in ICU.
No,
I know a lot of shitty fucking nurses. I know a lot of fucking great nurses. I know a lot of shitty firemen. I know a lot of great firemen. I know a lot of shitty cops. I know a lot of fucking great cops. Oh, dude, the other meme that I saw, and I'm not going to bring it up. I have it, but I'm not going to fucking put it up. But it was like, hey, how's your day in Minneapolis? And it was
a guy that I have a ton of respect for. His name is Scott Hughes. He's a local chief. He's also does a lot of other things as it relates to law enforcement. And I would say this to anyone. Look at the post that he put on his X feed last night. And he talks about use of force. And he says, if you want to have a reasonable argument about this, you've got to start with use of force and how it's evaluated. And the controlling legal opinion on this is Graham versus Connor, objective reasonableness, totality of the circumstances, and the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene, not 20/20 hindsight. Mm-hmm. That is the standard by which use of force is judged and evaluated. And he says, here's the problem. Some people watching videos online think that if they can see it frame by frame, so should an officer. Well, that is not how real life works. He talks about the NFL and how the referees miss calls every Sunday. They're trained, they're positioned, they're watching live, then the replay comes, and everyone says, well, how did they miss that? Because what happens in real time is not the same as going back and watching it in slow motion or frame by frame.
Exactly.
He says slow motion, and there's been research on this. And what the camera records in front of the camera is not the same thing as the human eye or how the human brain processes this, especially in a stressful situation. Look, when you're a trained police officer, you know that when you go hands-on with someone, it is by definition a life and death struggle, because even if the perp isn't armed, guess what? The officer is armed. So there is a gun there is a weapon involved in that struggle. And so this guy was struggling with what, 4 or 5 different agents, however many were there. That's how many guns were involved in this struggle. So just because
plus his
one angle of the video shows a gun being swiped away from, and look, do we know if that's that guy's gun? Probably, it probably is, but we don't know that for sure yet. But just because that we see that one gun being taken away from the scene, there's still other guns involved in that. And do we know if this guy was reaching for one of the guns on one of the other officers? Is that a possibility? All that needs to be explored. So there's research on this about how the humans process this information. He says slow motion creates time that didn't exist for the person making the decision. Humans don't see in slow motion. They don't decide in slow motion either. Your brain editing frames after the fact is not the same as an officer's brain reacting in real time. They had a hold of the gun. He couldn't have shot. Contact is not control. A hand on a firearm doesn't mean the muzzle can't move or the trigger can't be pulled. In close range fights, control can change multiple times in a second. So think about that. I mean, there's all these factors that play into this. And just because you can see multiple angles of the same video doesn't mean that you're Joe forensic scientist and that you have all the answers and you can proclaim that this was a good shoot, it was a bad shoot. You weren't there. You were not involved in that event in real time. There was a handful of Border Patrol officers who were. They reacted to what was going on in real time. So this didn't need to happen. It's terrible that it did happen, but the choices that this guy made
led
exactly
contributed
to this terrible outcome.
Yes.
And that's the shit part is nobody thinks about or says in some of the shitty comments I get on Facebook or in this podcast is why did that person put those officers in that position? Why did he do it? Shouldn't he have been going to work?
I can tell you one reason I think is because, and that's another thing I said was that look, a lot of the blame here belongs to 2 people, Governor Tim Walz and Mayor Fry.
Yeah,
because they're whipping people up. They're telling people confront, get in their faces, resist, all this stuff that they're telling them. They're not saying obey. They're not saying, obey lawful orders, stay out of their way. And it was the lieutenant governor of Minnesota, not the assistant attorney general. It was lieutenant governor of Minnesota who has been now shown to be, that's not true. The guy's dead. That's a tragedy. Don't tell me what I think. That really pisses me off. But anyway, other than I think you're an idiot. The simple fact of the matter is that the lieutenant governor of the state of Minnesota was in the signal chat relay that they now have proof that she was helping coordinate these because they've been wondering.
Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan,
who's quite the looker and quite the history on her,
is listed as admin in the signal group chat allegedly used to coordinate anti-ICE protests, doxing of agents, vehicle tracking, and mobilization efforts.
She's the admin in the chat?
She's the admin in the chat.
So that means that she's not just part of the chat.
No. She was coordinating. Yes.
She's running the fucking thing.
Yeah, and she should be held.
Wow.
She should be arrested, and she should be held charged with obstruction. But I will say this, boy, that's a good looking post. Whose post is that? Oh yeah, it's my post.
Yours.
But anyway, here's the thing. At the end of the day, You're going to say something. Go ahead.
Did you alter her facial
I
features?
did not.
In
I
any way?
swear to God. I did not alter. You
Did
put
you-
that back
you-
up there. No, I did not.
You love
I
fiddle
swear-
around
I
with your
did-
AI
I did
things,
not
man.
fiddle around. But
Are you
she
sure about that?
She should hold a GoFundMe to get that beak
I mean,
fixed.
you are a
But at the
purveyor
end-
of false
I
information.
am a purveyor of false information.
according to the paper of
According to
record.
the
here.
paper of record. Their junior cub reporter.
See, it all
But-
has a way of coming back around.
It's a circle. But
we've got somebody prominent pot stir says the Constitution allows for peaceable assembly
That's fact.
under the First Amendment, including singing, chanting, marching, picketing. But when that crosses into obstruction, threats or actual violence, and then she went in, ceases to be protected because she.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. And
it's all there. Like it's all fucking there. But these people.
Just like
Some of these people don't want to fucking see it that way.
Just like the people that went with Don Lemon that went into the church screaming First Amendment, First Amendment, First Amendment. Now they're being charged with federal crime for interrupting a church service, which is protected. So your First Amendment stops at some point.
Yes.
I mean, the freedom, you can't walk, just the oldest example, can't walk in a movie theater and scream fire and say it's First Amendment and cause a stampede. That's just not the way it works. But at the end of the day, a lot of this, I feel, is the fault. And I heard today he called Trump and they kind of tried to maybe figure out a way forward.
How amazing would it be to hear that fucking conversation?
Yeah, really.
Trump said you're going to get a visit from Tom Homan.
Tom Homan.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, he's en route.
Yeah.
He's en route, sir. I expect you to welcome him with a dinner and maybe a handy. I don't care from who.
You know the difference between these protests and the January 6th protests? You want to know the biggest difference in my mind? Because these first of all, but how many guns were at the January 6th protests? None.
Zero.
He'll have an answer though.
Zero.
He'll have an answer.
Zero.
There'll be 37 and a half.
But this sounds like more of an insurrection than January 6th ever did. But I digress. You might know better since you're on MSNBC and CNN. But I forget.
Now, Trump did say you will peacefully and patriotically march to the Capitol to
which is
make your voices heard.
But hey, listen, it's okay. I get it. You're a partisan.
You can quote me on that.
That's all right. I got it. I got where you're coming from.
I'm
Right
picking
back
up
at
what
you.
you're putting down.
That's right.
You guys hit it real quick and we can just blow off of it. But Borders are Tom Homan is going to Minnesota. He hasn't been up there.
Tom Homan got an award from Barack Obama, did he not?
Yes, he did.
He did.
It's weird. How is it okay when Barack Obama was president, same guy was doing the same thing, gets an award from the president, but now he's doing it for Donald Trump. Suddenly the left goes
and they call him a
apeshit.
Nazi.
And he's
suddenly-
fucking Hitler.
Suddenly
He's Hitler
the left
already.
goes ape shit. Does this seem, I don't know, does it seem kind of coordinated to you?
Weird.
I don't know, maybe it's me. I'm picking up on some vibes here. Stupid.
I'm
Idiot.
trying to grab some of the other things.
Look, Ma, no hands.
Play the video that of the one dude who was talking about how he.
Oh, yeah. The guy in the face.
yeah, Tony.
Oh, that
This guy. I like
yeah.
this guy.
And this is fucking true, man. Like
Sums things up quite nicely, I think.
it's all fucking common sense. We got some funny shit after this, but
Hey, yo, America. Understand this. I'm a black man in America, right? I walk around with a 19 on my hip, a SIG in my glove compartment, and an AR-15 in my 2020 Honda Accord daily, right? And you know what I don't do with those things? I don't go and impede law enforcement carrying out their duties. You know what I do? I mind my business. That's all I do. I go out there, I drink water, I get money, and I mind my business. You know my favorite saying, right? And for some reason, I'm able to survive. Every single day, I'm able to come home, run my kids a bath, tuck them in, and continue to do my thing. No harm comes to me, no harm comes to my family. I also have a 12 gauge pump away from the kids, of course, because, you got to be a responsible pew pew owner. Okay?
Pew pew owner.
And no harm comes to me and my family because I mind my business. I'll let the law do the law things. If I have beef, I petition my lawmakers. I don't go and take it out on law enforcement who are also citizens and Americans like me. And for some reason, I'm still here. There's a lesson in that.
My man makes some excellent points there.
Weird.
Talking about being a responsible gun owner and whatnot. And that those are words to live by. Are they not?
Sounds like sound advice.
I mean, it's fantastic the way that works. You mind your business. He's availed of all his rights. He enjoys his Second Amendment rights, his First Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment, 14th, all that good stuff. Just like all the rest of us are entitled to.
He doesn't get shot.
And he behaves like a responsible individual.
That's weird.
And him and his family are perfectly fine. It's a beautiful thing.
Wow.
Larry Elder put out a post, and he did the math on some of this. And he talks about between the president's January 2025 inauguration and the end of November, the Trump administration arrested an extraordinary total of 595,000 illegal aliens and deported 605,000. The 170 ICE detained U.S. citizens included about 130 arrested for interfering with or assaulting officers, justifiable under any reading of the law. Only about 40 or so of those who were detained claimed to be U.S. citizens accidentally or erroneously arrested by ICE. But just half of those people were held for more than a day. Most were released in a few hours. Any error is serious, but 40 mistakes out of 595,000 arrests
What is that percentage?
amounts to an error rate of 0.0067%.
Wow.
Roughly one wrongful detention for every 14,925 arrests.
Wow.
By contrast, during Obama administration, fiscal year 2015, ICE arrested 263, recorded 263 mistaken arrests, 54 mistaken detentions. During those 2 years, ICE made a mere 239,645 arrests, meaning 54 mistaken detentions alone produced an error rate for Obama of 0.0225%. One mistake for every 4,444 arrests. Overall, the error rate under Obama was 3.36 times higher than Trump during the course of Obama's 2 terms. 56 individuals died in ICE custody. The administration didn't publish clear detention totals, but the closest available figures show about 498,646 detentions and deportation over 5 fiscal years, an average roughly of 99,729 per year. If that annual rate held throughout the entire administration, ICE processed about 797,834 individuals. Under that estimate, 56 deaths translates into a rate of 0.007%, roughly one death for every 14,314 detainees. By comparison, the rate under Trump last year was slightly lower, 0.054%, or one death for every 18,549 detainees. For all the tumult and fury, ICE under Trump made no erroneous deportations through November. By contrast, ICE under Obama deported 2 U.S. citizens in one fiscal year, 2015, and 2 more in fiscal 2016. So you see,
How many protests were back then?
under the Obama,
Yes.
we had nothing like this
Yeah. So
under Obama.
that's exactly.
Absolutely nothing.
And it goes to the orange man bad.
Yeah. So I get a little annoyed when people are like, Yeah, this ICE. Well, I mean, where were you then? I mean, that's my point. Why now, Dan?
We didn't hear Nazi. We didn't hear Gestapo. We
Right.
didn't hear all this stuff.
Right.
And you asked earlier about the award that Tom Homan got from Obama in 2015. This is the highest award available to a federal civil service executive, and this was the Presidential Rank Award for Distinguished Servants.
Whose post was that?
This was posted by, Joseph Lazan posted the information about the award, and Larry Elder.
Oh, Larry Elder. Yeah, I like Larry Elder.
Posted the information about,
but again,
the numbers there with
and
ICE.
we said it before. Isn't it weird?
Yeah,
that he can get presented an award, and he's been doing the same job, and got pulled in under Trump as the borders are.
But that's the thing. Do you think the people out there protesting in Minnesota,
No,
or the young kids who walked out
of Forest Hills,
Forest Hills,
they have no idea,
have a clue about any of this information?
Not a clue.
I mean, I would say Cincy probably doesn't, but he's going to say, "Oh yeah, I knew that." I guarantee it. But
He's probably pounding the keyboard right now or something.
And then I had someone, because I did put a few comments up on Facebook, which I hardly ever do, last week. And someone got back at me and said, well, I'm a 2021 graduate of whatever high school in Forest Hills. And, we don't get just information from our parents. We get our information from our social media and our news feeds and all this other stuff. We're so much smarter because we have all this information and we know what we're talking about. I would ask,
they were coming at you.
I would ask that person the same thing. Do you know about this?
Probably not.
Do you have any clue? No.
Probably
all they do is repeat the same bogus talking points that they hear from Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders and
absolutely
it's all the usual stuff.
The numbers sometimes don't work, but the way you read it and the way it was written, it's very easy to understand. I'm looking for it now. I can't find it, but I'll find it afterwards. Listen, if it, I mean, I guess it's relativism. If it was bad now, then it should have been bad then. And given the fact that the percentages are lower and the numbers are lower, you should have been out on the street then protesting with the same bullshit that you're doing now.
We're going to go a little over.
The fact of I knew that already, but the fact of the matter is that you weren't then. And the only difference is who's in the White House. So you're using this to extrapolate your hatred of Trump, your Trump derangement syndrome, and you're using this as a reason to protest. And you're saying, well, look at this and look at that, Nazis. Just dispute the numbers and say you can be. I'll tell you what, I'd have a lot more respect for you if you said, you know what, and wouldn't you? If somebody said to you, well, I didn't know it was happening then. Well, the reason you didn't know is you didn't care because you weren't told back then that you were supposed to care by a very willing and complicit media that likes to spread this narrative that you then blindly follow. And so I guess my point here is at some point you're going to open your eyes and realize you're being used and you're a sheep and you're not opening your eyes and you're not looking at the simple reality from what it is. You're being used. You're a pawn against Orange Man Bad. And if you're okay with that, that's cool. That's fine. I mean, I just want you to know.
Yeah, see you in November. That's all you can say is see you in November or in May. That's all you can do is that's the shit part. Try to educate yourself.
But I have a feeling that that's not going to happen, especially with one of our listeners.
I'm gonna play this video since we're on the ICE thing.
What's the date?
Oh, don't you worry
Larry
about
Elder post?
Yeah. Local school district here is alleging ICE agents detaining a 5-year-old after preschool on Tuesday. We've also seen multiple American citizens detained by ICE harassed for the last 6 weeks. Are you proud of how your administration is conducting this immigration crackdown here in Minnesota?
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we're standing behind law enforcement, and I'm proud of the fact that we're enforcing the country's laws. But, you asked a question about this 5-year-old kid. I actually saw this terrible story while I was coming to Minneapolis. We just left Toledo, Ohio this morning for an economic messaging event. And I see this story, And I'm a father of a 5-year-old, actually, a 5-year-old little boy. And I think to myself, oh my God, this is terrible. How did we arrest a 5-year-old? Well, I do a little bit more follow-up research. And what I find is that the 5-year-old was not arrested, that his dad was an illegal alien. And then when they went to arrest his illegal alien father, the father ran. So the story is that ICE detained a 5-year-old. Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death? Are they not supposed to arrest an illegal alien in the United States of America? If the argument is that you can't arrest people who have violated our laws because they have children, then every single parent is going to be completely given immunity from ever being the subject of law enforcement. That doesn't make any sense. No one thinks that makes any sense.
Great. Absolutely. 1,000%.
Yeah. I mean, what the fuck? So that reporter, I mean, just a dumbass question to ask, for one. Oh, are you okay? Are you okay with how your administration's handling all of this? Well, yeah, people are going to get fucking arrested that shouldn't fucking be here.
That's why, listen.
Oh, here. keep going, Andrew. You're good.
Well, no, JD Vance is JD Vance.
JD Vance is fantastic.
The man. Okay. He's not only is he intelligent, but he's a good speaker and he thinks very well on his feet, which is exactly what we need. Because what you say what you want, you can love, hate Trump. And I do like a lot of the times what Trump says, but a lot of times Trump says stuff and I'm like, oh,
just stop it
like that.
Stop it. Stop it.
Right. JD Vance, I don't have that with JD Vance. JD Vance usually he's a very intelligent man, and I cannot wait for his run for president because it's going to be epic.
But here's some of the other bullshit. So when some of these leftists that want to sit there and argue about, oh, it's peaceful protest and we're doing this and we're doing that, and oh, these are just good, upstanding people just standing up for their rights. And literally, I use that pun intentionally because this fucking video, which is amazing.
There's smoke grenades that initially came out. I know the smell of smoke. Not sure what just happened there. But you guys can see the amount of crap that's now on the ground out here.
I'm going to play it again.
That initially came out. I know the smell of
for the audio listeners, it's a guy in a motorized wheelchair that probably cost anywhere between
there.
$5,000 and $10,000.
But you guys can see the
and
amount of
he's
crap
in a
that's
fucking
now on
gas
the ground
mask,
There's
and he
smoke
gets
grenades
up.
that initially came out. I know the smell
He
of
drops
smoke.
his phone or whatever it is, or his vape, and gets up and stands
what
up.
just happened there.
That's funny.
And you're
but you guys,
you are expecting us.
It's a miracle.
You are expecting us to take you motherfuckers seriously.
That's a sign from God right there. That is a sign.
I mean, modern medical miracle.
I mean, that man is doing the Lord's work. You know what?
The demons got exorcised.
It is just unbelievable.
Oh, Pappas, you sent me a picture.
Send lots of pictures.
Just because when you pick up a flashbang thinking it was a tear gas, and now you got to learn to jerk off with it with your other hand.
I didn't know it was a girl, so well, but that applies.
I mean, it still applies.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a he, she. It might be a tranny.
It could be.
I'm not
could be
sure.
he, she.
It could be he.
Oh, Jill sent me this. We're going completely off topic, just kind
off rails here for a minute.
Grabbing some of these just
for a minute,
just to make it funny, at least for us, maybe.
And please make sure you send into the show if you see something funny you want us to put on the screen. Please feel free to send it.
I got one from Falk that's coming up, but
do you do that on your snowmobile?
No, because I'm smart.
Jill sent me this.
Looks like fun.
Norway's back up for Greenland on its way. How about that video? Look at that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got this idiot that you brought up, Dan. Oh, where's she at?
Oh yeah, this is that gal that has the podcast. What the fuck?
We grabbed.
No, I didn't send that one.
Something
I thought you were going to dial up that other one.
Don't do the one that you hate. That one, the one that you were like, why do people follow her?
Yeah.
What? I don't know.
She's attacking Christians, and then here's the thing:
we're going two different directions.
I don't watch her podcast, but I see clips of her all the time, as if she's someone who I don't know why people pretend that she's someone that should be paid attention to.
I don't even know where the fuck she came from.
I don't either.
Like
But-
out of the fucking blue.
I want you to watch this clip and tell me what does it run? 1:09?
I can't watch her.
I know it's terrible.
Evangelical
But tell me how
Christianity
much
is a
substance you
cancer.
hear
These are the worst of our country. These are the worst people in our country because they use their religion in two ways, as a weapon and as a shield. They weaponize it whenever they want to and say, we're on the moral high ground. You're a lesbian. You deserve to die. You're a lesbian. The cops shouldn't have revived you. Oh, your parents are Mexicans and they brought you over here. Yeah, you should go to jail and eat worm food. And then when you call them out on it, oh my God, they're after the Christians. How dare they? How dare they? We're so oppressed. White Christians are so oppressed in this country. And they want it both ways because in the religion, that duplicity is taught. You can be morally duplicitous. You thrive in cognitive dissonance. And so this is just a massive, massive problem. And it should come as no surprise to anyone that of this cult that I'm talking about, white evangelicals, I think over 80% went and voted triple Trump.
I want to get her contact. I want to fucking try to get her on here.
Oh, you out of your mind.
Well, she's attacking white evangelical Christians.
I want to have her on here because it's so bullshit.
She's at first she doesn't even know what their beliefs are, but she tries to make a mockery of it, and then she puts out all these straw men and makes these phony arguments about how they react to things and how they treat people. Which is completely phony baloney, completely made up. There's no truth, no relevance, no substance to anything that she says. And I never hear her say anything backed up by anything that is factual. It's all this shit that's swimming around in her fucking sewer of a fucking brain.
Dan, let me ask
and
you
it just flows out of her mouth like the effluent from the fucking sewage plant.
Dan, let me ask you a question. Or effluence.
Effluent. With an E.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Now I heard her say something about lesbian and blah 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 and how
she said that's the way Christians treat people, that if you're a lesbian then you don't deserve medical treatment or
you know what group she's not going to call out that doesn't treat lesbians and gays.
She's not going to call out Muslims.
Why not?
She's not going to call out the Islamists.
Why would she not do that?
Because she's afraid of them. That's why.
So if she was truly a woman if she identifies that way, I don't want to judge because I saw her eyebrows. But if she was truly a woman of principle, wouldn't she be calling out? Wouldn't she be calling out the group that supposedly, is the most egregious against lesbians and gays? That's not the Christian groups.
But Jen Psaki and the ladies on The View and Rachel Maddow and all these people on CNN and MSNBC, they think she is the hottest thing on the internet right now because she gives voice to these idiotic ideas. And so they treat her like she's someone smart or someone special. I mean, there is absolutely. And she did an interview with Don Lemon after he him and his friends went and busted into the church.
Don't church it up.
He's going on and on about this is not I'm a Christian, but this is not my style of Christianity. So they're white supremacists and all the rest of it. I mean, how does this is? I don't know. I guess this is the current day version of the Kardashians because the Kardashians are famous for what? Being famous, right?
Big butts.
I guess that her mom had her daughter make a porn video when they were young girls.
I really don't know.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. But
Kim and Kanye, but their dad was the attorney.
Yeah,
with
he was
fucking
a rich
OJ.
guy. But this gal, I don't watch her podcast. I don't know anything about her.
I'm reaching out,
but I just don't know why I see her on my feed constantly with this idiotic bullshit. Tell me. Am I off base? Am I missing something here? Did she say something that was profound or true in any sort of way in that minute and 9 seconds that we'll never get back?
It was her 9 minutes before she had to go pick up her fucking her liberal kids from fucking private school.
I think her Botox has infected her brain.
Her latest Botox.
I think her Botox treatment is definitely. I mean, if you get too much, it can affect your brain. I think it numbed her brain.
Yeah, I'm gonna play our buddy Murph real quick before we head out of here.
I'm not judging.
Hi, everyone. Dan Carroll here. Time to tell you about a great new sponsor for the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. It's Murphy Engraving. Murphy Engraving is the place to go for your business, industrial, and personal engraving needs. Take a look at the Murphy Engraving page on Facebook, and you're going to see all kinds of unique items that really seem to take on a life of their own because they've been customized with an image, a name, or a logo, and all of it just really beautifully done. The acrylic sports awards that light up are especially creative and very cool. The customized bottles of bourbon, those are my personal favorite. And wait till you see what they can do with items that are made out of wood. The next time you want to recognize someone special or you're looking for that one-of-a-kind gift, you'll be glad you checked out Murphy Engraving. And a bonus, you're supporting a local family-owned business run by brothers Brian and Kevin, who is a lifetime firefighter and Air Force vet. At Murphy Engraving, they turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, and at Murphy Engraving, we are American-made.
It's kind of funny.
Hey, play stupid games.
It's kind of, listen, I don't want to share too many of those memes, but I tell you what, I cannot watch that lady falling down screaming about her hand enough because it's just. I guess. Listen, it's not nice. I know it's not nice. I get it's not nice. I'm human. I am really. I don't know how you guys feel. I am done. I am so done with these freaking protesters that are shown to be nothing more. You want to talk about astroturf? These protesters are truly astroturf because, like you mentioned, I'm not going to dive back into it. But if you didn't protest then, you're protesting now, then you're false. And the fact of the matter is, this is coordinated, this is organized, and it's bullshit. And I'm really tired of it. And I think the vast majority of Americans are they may not be out in the streets and they may not be protesting because that's not what we do. I mean, it really isn't. But I think we're just tired of it. I just think we're sick of it. You know what? I get it. You don't like the guy. I understand. You got 3 more years. You maybe less. You know, the midterms are coming up. He's still going to be in office, so it's going to annoy the shit out of you. But deal with it. I mean, just fucking deal with it. I got a new sticker on my car, a new trailer hitch thing. It says Trump won. Get over it. Fuck. Give me a break.
So I didn't pull this article up, but I'm in the midst of reaching back out to our buddy Ivan Raiklin, who we had on the podcast, who is the self-quoted Secretary of Retribution. And him and Michael Fanone, when Jack Smith was getting what do you call that when they're in the congressional chambers, deposed or whatever, being interviewed. And
that was a congressional hearing.
Congressional hearing,
yeah,
okay.
Oversight.
Was it
the oversight?
That's all. That's all I need you to say. Don't matter.
It's the Jack Smith stuff.
It's close enough. But Ivan Raiklin and Michael Fanone fucking get into it, and I'm in the midst of getting back with Ivan to get him on the podcast because it was all over the fucking news. He just did cease and desist to Michael Fanone, the cop that got dragged down the steps and tear gassed and everything else, and a whole bunch of interactions. If you haven't checked it out, go look at it. It's all over the place.
Okay.
But I reached out to Ivan's people and they reached back and they're like, yeah, we can probably do something. So we'll have to plan it out. But we've had him on before and I thought it was awesome then. It's going to be even more. It's going to be more awesome.
More
when
awesome.
We get it back.
Awesomer.
Is
that a word?
Awesomest.
For me, is physicality a word?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But they say it all the time on the NFL.
Purveying more false information now.
I'm a purveyor.
It's going to be awesomest.
Hundreds of words.
Can you even spell purveyor?
Yeah, per and veyor.
P-U-R-veyor.
Purveyor.
All right, we gotta figure out when we're coming back. To
you sure there was 100 kids there?
But we appreciate you guys. Remember,
more than 100.
Tune in, tell a friend, subscribe, like, download, do all those things, and we will see you guys here in a couple of days. We're trying to figure schedules out.
doesn't matter if there was 10, 50, whatever. You put